Yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible. And the reason it works is because we're adding value to the agent experience. And so, I was on the phone today with a lady that was, she was at a competitive brokerage, I'll say, leave the name out. And she was recruited based upon the training that this organization has, and she was struggling, and she doesn't feel like there's anyone there that's really trying to help her. And
Sure.
and I was like, man, that's a familiar feeling for a lot of people. In fact, I think 80% of agents get out of business the first year because they don't survive. And she was real close to throwing the towel in. And once I explained her the model and how you're going to have all the tools that you don't have now, and you're going to have the support that you didn't have. And we're going to help you build your ads out, because that's not a skill that she probably has yet.
Right.
And we're gonna help her to be successful. And guess what? I'm not gonna ever ask you for your credit card. That's a different kind of conversation that most agents don't get to have. And not everybody offers the same kind of help with agents as as a sponsor at EXP. But I think the general consensus is you've got support, and you've got help, and you've got all the tools, and you've got this collaborative culture now that you can plug into. The same collaborative culture that we had as we would travel around the world and go to all these different events and meet everybody, and we got to know each other and help each other and stuff like that. But that was a very expensive way to create a collaborative environment where agents are willing to share ideas and stuff like that. And so you don't get it within the walls of a brokerage typically, because your competition is sitting right across from you. I remember people used to, this was the worst part about having a great coaching company, by the way. I remember having multiple times. This one story in particular I remember is we helped a couple young guys in Canada build a big business. They were killing it. And he heard every Tuesday they would get on our coaching calls, and he saw their success, and they would never tell him, right across, literally his wall, they shared the same wall in between. And so they would never tell him who he was coaching with, but he caught wind of it, who the call was with, and reached out to us and filled out an application for coaching. And he said, I've been listening to y'all coach these guys for like the last year and a half, and I've watched what happened in their business, and I want to, but they would never tell people about us, because they didn't want anybody in their office, receiving the same coaching. And so, it's one of those things that your competitors within your office, whether you might have really cool people in your office if you have a physical building, but you're still competitors. Like the best of the best of the best ideas are not going to get shared publicly at the weekly meetings. Okay. So, so you've got to find a way to get around an environment where, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to figure all of it out. You just need to get around the right people. And, this company has just created that kind of a culture and collaborative nature where, if you're not successful here, you're just not going to be successful. That's just the way I see it.
Right. Well, yeah. And you hit on something there about the collaboration. You can't sit there like you could say, I can give you stats all day. I can't give you a collaboration stat.
No, man.
But it's such a feeling and such a just, I've been doing this for a few years.
You can't describe it, bro.
You've never felt it. It doesn't exist. I mean, I was at a different company, as you well know, that talked about a lot of coaching that we go pay for training and this, that, and the other. But, in the office, you would, the most you're going to share is like a recipe idea. You're not, you're not going to sit there and say, hey, here are my Google AdWords.
Right.
I hope they work out for you as well as they do for me.
Yeah. Right. And you're definitely not going to get that level of collaboration for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic.